Hey everybody, Thomas here. I'm starting a new series called Developer Let's Play, I think. I don't know what it's going to be called. I'm going to call it that now probably, but yeah, so I'm going to play my first game that I published on Steam, Deathly Sneaky But Not Sneaky. And I'm going to try to do it in parts, but we'll see, because I have a feeling that when I start playing this game I might just beat all of it. But I know it takes at least like an hour and a half. I'm tempted, but I think I'm going to cut it into maybe 20-minute segments so I can get a little bit out of it. We'll see though, because I might do a little bit of talking with each level or whatever. So the first thing I did is I deleted my save data. So, sorry, I went a little fast there. Let me go a little slower. So, we got two modes here. Got the classic mode, and then the hidden mode. Gotta. Ooh, can't click. Oh, you can't click on it. What are you gonna do? It's a secret. So it says if you're new, because you are new, you gotta visit how to play. So I'm gonna show you all this. I'll show you all the game, try to talk about it a little bit. So I tried to slow the text down here to like how fast it would be to read it, so you could read it as it appears, so it doesn't just all appear at once. Because it used to do that, and you could skip it by pressing A or circle. I'll show you after. But here, if you're reading it along with it, it should come at the same speed that you're reading it. And of course that depends on how fast you are as a reader, but I don't know, I guess I kind of estimated it. Very cool, right? Tried to use some colors here to kind of guide you, and of course if you didn't read any of it, so if you just press it really quick by accident, all of it appears, which is, fine. I feel like most people do that at least halfway through just to kind of get through it. So maybe I made it a little too slow. Yeah, I added the quick start at the bottom, so if you do skip it, your eyes kind of go to the teal there, and you read kind of what you gotta do with the yellow. Just purchase an item, equip the item, and select a level. I could have even made the first few letters or words in the sentence like gray, so it said like purchase an item, equip the item, and it like highlighted those smaller phrases. But here we go. So if the player does try to just start, which they do a lot of the time, sometimes they don't even read how to play, which is fine. This is the type of game where you can just pick it up and learn as you go. But it literally just tells you what you need to do if you can't do it yet. So like if you go and click on, I'm going to start the game without having read the instructions and know what to do, it's like, oh no, you can't do that because you have no items. So you go to the shop. It even says the same thing here, just the same message. And then I give the player a choice in the beginning where you can choose either the knife or the shuriken, and it kind of teases these other items here, which you can't unlock if you try. So they're great out if you can't afford them. I'm glazing over a lot of stuff because I'm very used to it. But so let's start at the top, I guess. So that is your available money. I probably should have made the dollar signs yellow or something, but you see there's question marks to the left of it, so if I go hover over it, it actually gives a little tooltip. So I made these menus. They might look kind of cool, and they might look kind of bad, but I guess it could maybe be both. But these are actually a second version of the menus too. If you watch an older version of this game, maybe I'll probably edit it on. I'll try to put a little more effort into some of these videos, so I'll edit it into what it looks like before. And the menus were just very big and clunky and chunky and everything, so it's like I had to redo them. So that kind of sucked, because you never want to work on something for a few months and then just start having to work over on it again. But these had more color, the font was better, clearer. I don't know why, but maybe it's because I started on mobile, but I had a tendency to make menus very big. That might even just be because I'm in the Unity editor when I'm making the game most of the time. But I didn't even notice, because I tested the game. Okay, well, I'm rambling, so let's continue. Yeah, I should probably follow the instructions. So, what I was getting to was I added tooltips, and these came later on at the end of near the end of when I was about to finish the game. because just some things were just not very clear to the player. But these tooltips really, I think, clear up what you need to do and how you use it. So it's, I mean, dollar signs, that's pretty obvious. You know, what you're supposed to do with that number $3 signs, and it's like, okay, so I'm probably gonna be spending it since it's dollars. So this kind of tells you how do you get these points. So just complete the levels. And this is the equipment points, which I feel like a lot of people, it takes them a little bit to understand, but they usually get it right when they try to make a loadout. So this just tells you how many items you can equip. So if you look here to the right hand side, there's the dollar amount or the points amount, whatever, and then there's equipment cost. So I'm pretty sure I don't even let you buy it if you don't have the right equipment cost, but you definitely obviously can't buy it if you don't have enough money. So that's there. So I can only buy the knife and the shuriken with one, because they cost 1 point or 3 points, $3, whatever. And I gave you 3 to start with. I should have just made them 1, I guess. I don't know why I did 3. I guess that makes sense so that they're not the same number, so you don't get them confused. But so even if I did have $5 or whatever, I still don't think I'd be able to purchase the pistol because I don't have 3 equipment points. So you have to buy them here. Every time you buy max equipment points, your max equipment points goes up by 1. So if I buy the knife, for instance, it's 1 equipment cost. I could go into a loadout and equip 1 knife. But if I had 2 equipment points, so if I bought this and then used the knife or equipped the knife, I could equip 2 knives. So, and it kind of has to do with the shurikens too. The shuriken, I think, is actually one of the best items in the game, so I'm gonna go with the knife. So the knife's one of the best too. So I bought that, you know, it disappeared. Yeah. Yep. And now I took a setting away. There used to be a third setting under this question mark that let you filter the shop. I think I removed that for simplicity because it's not here. So this is the loadout screen. Edit loadouts. This is yellow now instead of the shop. So if we try to go, it says you have no loadouts. Not too hard to tell. Programmatically. Yeah. How to tell if you have a loadout or not. So, as you can see, there's only 1 loadout. Press the on button, I guess. So here's the loadout thing. Loadout UI menu. So at the top is your equipment points again. Available points to equip items if you have 1. At your left and right hands. So you can do knife. Cost 1 equipment points, so you now have 0. Turns red, right? I think square could equip. You can unequip quickly. Unequip the unequip hotkey for the controller. I should probably have tooltips at the bottom saying that. My bad, but you know, something you can maybe accidentally discover. But let's say you try to equip a second one, right? You don't have enough equipment points. Oh no. So you'd have to go and buy some. And you might think this menu looks a little simple, or maybe not, but it does expand as you buy more things, which I think is really cool. So, and you might even be wondering what's the benefits of 1 knife versus 2, and that might be something you just need to play to find out, or I might try to explain it. But so now I can, since I've created a loadout, let me go back to the loadouts. A second one was added. So every time you equip a loadout, it'll add another one. I think up until 10. I'll give you 10 or 12. Just an arbitrary number. I could give you infinite, but I always feel a little sketchy about giving players infinite things because they tend to break things with that. So I gave you 10 or 12. So if I'll just do this. See, 3. Every time I make a loadout, even though they're the same, it'll add another one up until 10. I think. I think square also. No, that would be dangerous. If you unequip that. See, this is kind of something I just got lazy with, where it doesn't disappear. But if I put this back, and I do it, unequip everything on this one, then it disappears. So it went from 4 to 3, and if I remove this one, there's just 1. I could even remove this one, there's none, right? So there we go. A lot of information. Haven't even started the game yet. So select levels. Let's see here, there's a difficulty at the bottom for the level settings. I was planning on adding more settings here, but I think the only thing I have right now is difficulty. But if I ever did update the game, I would add like little extras here probably. I don't know what. I had some game modes in mind that I played around with that I haven't actually made into the game. It would just be like 1 or 2 settings. I think it would be cool. So, this is the difficulty, base difficulty. This is the second one, kind of like the survival. Oh, spoiler! It's kind of like the mode that hasn't been unlocked yet. You can't see it, you can't click on it, but it's kind of teasing that there's another difficulty, so you know where to look. So, yeah, these are also, locked. You can't see. It says dir 0 second directory. Let's try to make it look like a computer, kind of. And this is the only place I think I really did that. I should have done that in more places, maybe. So you click on it, it opens the directory of levels. There's .12 levels per directory. I should probably know that, you'd think, right? But no. There's also a little size thing. They're all 100, so I also got lazy here. That was supposed to be like, I think I was gonna add like more stats, like how long it took you. But then as I thought about that, I started changing my mind and whatnot. But that's something I would add too, is maybe how long it took you to complete a level, so you could maybe try to get better at it. But I figured if people would want to speedrun this game, which I thought it would be a good speedrunning game, if they would, they'd just set up their own timer. But it would be maybe cool to refine certain levels, so. Or if you just want to do it casually, maybe. So let's actually do the level. So there's a level preview on the right. You're the blue circle, the goal is yellow, and anything else is like brown usually. That's a candle. Yep. So the first level, you might have seen something flash there for a second. I'll go back and slow that down, but that is the level that's loaded right when the game boots out, because for some reason the first level is always like buggy. And I probably could solve it now since it's been a few years, but it's just something that I solved by loading the level twice, like a second time. It was only the first level that was always messed up, so I would always load a second one, and I was like, okay, so what I gotta do is just load a level and start up, and then once you load the second level, since it's a different one, it'll reload the level, fixing the bug. And I think the bug was that the panels didn't appear on the sides of the walls. There's different themes for levels. This one's like the tutorial minimalist level. It doesn't have anything. Like there's like rocks and wood kind of for the theme. And I'll show you later, but they didn't appear for some tiles. I don't know why. I probably can fix it now. So here we are. Here's my guy. He's running around. You see his arm kind of start to detach from him a little bit. This guy's made with a bunch of joints. The game's lagging a little bit. I think it's because I'm recording, so I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. No, actually, well, I think it records fine. It's just what it looks like to me is weird. So it'll look fine on the video, which is all that matters. So you can move around. A lot of people, what they do first, they learn how to attack. I've noticed is they'll, a lot of people play this with mouse and keyboard, which I don't appreciate, but no, I'm just kidding, obviously. It's definitely a controller game, though. One that I feel definitely, it's a twin stick shooter. It's mouse and keyboard's kind of just there because, but a lot of people just default to that for some reason. So, you attack with this, and that's all you really need to know for now. You move around with the left stick, and with the right stick, you can look around. So that's what a lot of people don't realize if they do play with controller, is they don't realize the game is twin stick. They'll play maybe half the game just moving around like this, because that's all you need to do with the knife. But once they unlock pistols or use the shurikens and whatnot, then they learn how to use the aiming basically. But if you're using mouse and keyboard, you know because you're using a mouse. So yeah, the goal of this game is the first level is the only little tutorial thing you get. Basically, restart it. There's nothing there at first, so you're like, oh, what am I doing? I don't know what to do. And then this little arrow appears. Right now. Oh, so it doesn't appear if you restart the level. That's it's a bug. So there's usually a little arrow that appears, and then it swaps over here. Whatever. That's who cares? Not me. Why would I care? It's not my game. Right? Okay, so first enemy. Walking around. You just stand there. Attack with this button. There you go. You heard me swing the knife. They can hear you. I'll restart. Quick restart with the options, which is cool. So I saw one person playing recently that didn't know the keyboard shortcut to restart, which is either backspace or left control, I believe. And I just added left control because I got some feedback that the backspace is kind of out of the way. Like, you put your hands on the mouse and keyboard, you have to take one hand off to reach the backspace, which makes a lot of sense. Like, why do you want to do that? So you can kind of move your pinky over for the left control restart. But the let me get the mouse out of the way. The share button or the options button on the keyboard. And I'll show you real quick. So, some more sound. You can hear your footsteps. Maybe not. If you're running, he can hear your footsteps. He'll come and kill you. Ah, you died. Then time slows down. Like, what do I do? I'm dead. Oh. Wow, so nice and generous of the game developer to put that there. So, but if you have mouse and keyboard, it shows you the same icon, which is totally my bad. But it tells you what to do on controller. So, another thing I forgot you can do. Two things. May as well get it out of the way. So, two things. The D-pad buttons. If you press up on the D-pad, you will swap hands of what you have equipped. So if you had a pistol and a knife, you would swap hands with those. But I just have a knife. Not useful for a knife, but if you have a pistol, you can look around corners and you can swap hands, and it'll kind of help you. That's really the only reason I did it, I think. If you press down on the D-pad, you whistle, and it's basically when you whistle, like picture an object, like here, like right, the distance between my character and the enemy, picture like an object there, and when you whistle, the object appears there and makes a noise, and if the enemy's close enough to that object in front of you, then they'll get alerted. So it's a way to alert enemies, maybe do something cool where you like move them into you. It makes more sense when you have a gun in this game, but I'll explain it better later. But a whistle. He turns around and hears me. You can do it from pretty far too. I might be able to. Yeah. There's a range. Maybe it'd be cool to have a visual. The blood is cool. One of my favorite parts of the game is the blood. The bodies you can move around, which is optimized a little bit because there can be a few enemies on the screen near the end, and I don't want the physics to take up too much power or whatever. So I did limit it near the end, where I think only 15 bodies can, or 10 or 15 bodies can move like this, where if it's older than that, or if another body dies, like number 16, the first one, basically all of its physics parts are removed and they're like static. And then the newer guy you can still move around. Oh, okay, so yeah, you bring that back, there you go. We've gotten through 2 levels and it's been like 20-ish minutes. This level, right? So I'm just trying to make it a little more complicated. The shadows are pretty cool. I like that, like this. That looks cool. This thing follows you. You're back. This level... I'm just trying to show that it can be a little bigger, maybe. Give this guy patrol pass so they can walk around. You still get to sneak around and kill him. This one again, you can sneak around. He has a little path where he'll go back and forth. So killing with the knife is pretty easy, but I'll show you why it might be good to have 2 knives. Right now, I'm pressing the button as fast as I can, and this is as much as you can swing. So I think this guy's gonna kill himself. Yeah. So it's it's pretty easy in the beginning. The game definitely picks up once there's more people on screen. So this is like kind of the soft tutorial. Yeah, you could just press this button the whole game, but it doesn't work out for you later on. Maybe I'll show you. I can show you why later. But if I had 2 knives, I could alternate, and you can only kill 1 person per knife. That was a good demonstration of how the knives work, right, with the sound effect. So here is basically the first level or the second level, but with a door. So I probably should have put this door somewhere else. There's definitely a better way. I could have made this level with the goal at the bottom with the door, and you're like, oh, the goal, and you try to get it, and then it's like, oh, there's a door, I can't get it. But now you don't even see that's the door. So bad level design on my part. Definitely something to fix if I work on the game again, but kill him. Opens the door. You can see the shadows, the light, so the door opens there. It closes inwards. There's things that could have been improved, things that don't really matter too much. But I might be pointing out a lot of my things that aren't in the game, but it's easier to see what isn't in the game sometimes than what is. Like, the reason that there's kind of a lot of things missing is I worked on this game for maybe a year and a half or 2. Not constantly, but on and off, and I just needed to move on to something else because no one was really interested in it, which is fair. It's not the best presentation. But I feel like everybody who plays it at least puts maybe 30 minutes into it, and I feel like if this did reach the right audience, like, I know people like Hotline Miami. I know they like it for the art style though, mostly. I like Hotline Miami, but yeah, the pixel art's pretty great. The story's really good. I'm not too into it, but I know that's a big thing. And this game doesn't have any story. So I guess what I'm saying is, you either understand, you've made a game and maybe understand what I'm saying, or you might think I'm just being lazy, which is fair, because it's definitely a little bit of both. But, so let's just go back to the level. So this one, is the first level where the enemy can, like, directly looks at you, and always looks at you. Like, there's no way to get around this guy by sneaking. Like, he has to confront you. So if you're not good, like, I see people die at this level. I'm gonna make all these levels look really easy. And I'm sure they will be to a lot of people if you do watch this video, but if you go into this game blind, it can be a little difficult knowing what to do and how to deal with stuff. I'm obviously playing the best way, so if you play, you'll be like, oh, I should probably do it like this guy's doing. But if, like I'm saying, if you've never played it, you don't know what to do. So a lot of people will just walk up and be like, oh, I swing too early. If you swing too early, you can't swing for another second, so swing too early. I'm pretty generous with the knife swing, but there's definitely a point where you can press it too early, like that, and you die. So, but as long as you're swinging, you always have priority over the person you're attacking. So even if he's swinging before you, it's not timing. It's like, as long as I'm swinging, if he swings, then he dies, because that would be unfair for you if you die. It doesn't feel good. This is another one where there's 2, except I think these guys both change directions. Okay, yeah, so you can be sneaky, but not sneaky. Opens the door. Something funny about this one. So I told you how I didn't do a good job teaching the player about the door. A lot of people don't realize this is a door. So they'll come here. Everybody, I think. I don't think I've seen a single person go through this, and they go all the way back around because they don't see it's a door. But, it's a door, so you can go around. I do force the player to do it later, which I should have done way earlier. This is one that gets a lot of people, is they'll come up, knife this guy, and if you knife that guy, you lose, basically. So it's almost like a little puzzle here. Not so much, but because you don't have enough time. So what you gotta do is hit this guy and then kill this guy. Or You can do a few things, no, it's not terrible. See, I'm not even using the direction right now. I'm just running and you face your direction. There are some options I can go into. Maybe I'll do that next video. But yeah, here we go. Change of scenery. Here's the panels I was talking about. See the wood on the edges? That's a nice little effect. Got barrels, so we'll be seeing barrels the rest of the game. All this furniture is the same, but the colors changed and the theme kind of. But the game didn't used to have furniture or any themes like that, so this, it might seem basic, but it definitely came a long way. Definitely did. So this is a level. It's definitely not the first, but this is one of the levels you can take this and just leave. A lot of people don't think you can leave the level, which is my fault. I didn't make a good enough effort to show that you can, because I added a delay. Usually if you have this and you kill them, it's instant when you get to the carpet, which this is a carpet by the way. You kill them, step here, it instantly loads to the next level, but if you haven't killed everybody in the level, and it takes like a second or two, and it shows these little particles, which was my attempt at being like, yeah, you can get it, totally. But it doesn't work, because a lot of people, they'll step on it, be like, oh, you can't do it? Even though they see the particles, which is fine, like it's not enough. But they'll step on it, and they'll be like, oh, I can't, and then they'll leave, kill them, and then watch. Instant load, right? That's what they're expecting, so that's my bad. This is the first cool looking level you can sneak through. It's kind of hard to sneak through because you can't see their sight lines, but if you play it really safe, you can. I learned both of them. Yeah, but this game's definitely, it does have sneaky in the title, and you can be sneaky. It lends to what you kind of do, but you're definitely not sneaky. Like, this game plays best if you are going in guns a-blazing, knives a-swinging. So I unlocked some stuff. An axe and a grenade. I put a little like descriptor before it. There's items, utilities, perks. No, mods, not perks. Mods. But think of them like perks from Call of Duty. Mods, weapons, and utilities. That's it. So, as you can see, there's starting to be more enemies, which is nice. You can access the shop. Right, or pause menu. You got some stats at the bottom. I don't think these are accurate. I think they get bugged somehow. Or maybe not, but we'll see. We'll see. I think I remember it getting to a ridiculously high number. That didn't make sense. I need to separate these two, like put a space in between options in these two, I think. Maybe these two also. There's a space out the menu, but you can you can edit your loadouts here, and you can go to the shop. So now the shop looks a little different. So you get 1 point, 1 money per level that you complete, new level. So you can't just replay levels. It has to be a new level. So you saw the unlock screen earlier. Every time you beat a level pack, or it's not every time. I think there's some that you don't get some, or it might be every level pack. I might have spaced out the items, but after every level pack you complete, you'll get new items added to the shop. And I could have just given you all the items from the beginning, I suppose. But not really, because I don't want you buying, like saving up for the AK-47, buying it, and then you just destroy the levels. Like, that would be cool, because a lot of people want that, but that's what you get halfway through the game. But still, I feel like this is a good way for me to kind of trickle you weapons I think you should be using. And the equipment points is the same exact thing, because at the end of the game you have all of your equipment points, which I think is 9 maybe, or 10. I give you a good amount, and you can equip like a lot of stuff. So imagine if you could like equip, so a grenade is 2, you could equip 5 grenades. That's too much for the first like half of the game. That's way too much. You would just destroy the game. It'd be too easy. So it's definitely balancing. So the equipment points help me balance what you can equip, and also kind of trickling you the weapons gives you a feeling of choice of what you're like buying. A lot of the time you can spend all of your points, but I tried to make it so there's at least 1 or 2 things that you can't buy, so you do have to make a choice. But now that we have some money, the best things to always buy, in my opinion, are the equipment points. If I bought 1 equipment point, I could equip 2 knives, and then that's about it. Buying a 3rd equipment point would be useless, because I can't equip 3 knives. Alright, so I would need to buy something else. A shuriken or a grenade. and the grenades. I would only be able to equip one. I'll buy the shurikens. And with that, I'm actually going to leave it on a cliffhanger. I know I said I might finish this game, but I'm talking a lot more than I thought I would. I feel like this might be a good structure for the videos to maybe go in depth about the game and the processes and how I came to do it and what it came from, and maybe some bugs and stuff. I feel like maybe that's what you guys want to see. I don't know. Let me know. I'm pretty new at making these videos, but I'm trying to get better at it. And if you have any tips, anything you guys want me to talk about or go over, I'll try to do that. And yeah, I'll try to make some notes. Maybe watch this video next time I do one of these so that I can talk about some things I forgot. Because I know I already didn't. I'm not even talking about the music or the sound effects. I'll definitely get into more of that stuff later. So,